seems that Meghan Markle's major team, the ones that are going to be putting it back at the top, not quite sure at the top of what, have found, they believe, an ingenious way of making sure that her popularity remains at the very peak of its powers. You know, when you think about it with Meghan, we spotted her, did we not, not once, but twice at those Beyonce concerts in the vain hope that people would believe she was really chums with Beyonce. Harry chucked that grenade, didn't he, in the docu-series, saying, oh, you got a text or a message from Beyonce? But of course, on the very same platform, we saw Prince Harry begging to the Disney executive of that particular Disney film, looking for his wife for voiceover work. I mean, that was excruciatingly embarrassing. And if you re-look at that footage, you know, with Beyonce and Jay-Z, you can kind of see the bit of disbelief in their eyes of, really? You do know there's cameras around? Maybe they didn't care, whatever. But now we can tell you there's this particular ingenious idea that they've stumbled across that a lot of micro celebrities are now doing. As I've often said here on the show, it's about digital media, isn't it? You know, everybody now is a journalist. I've often said this working in television myself, and particularly news. You couldn't get a TV news camera fast enough now to a particular spot. You know, if there was a crisis, a crash, or indeed, you know, a terrible explosion, something like that. You know what I mean? When you think about the old days, it would have probably taken about an hour to get the setup, the reporter, but very quickly there's somebody with a phone filming it, and very quickly it's on digital platforms, whether it be Substack, Twitter, you know, you name it. That's the deal, isn't it? Now, what's interesting, Meghan and her team have decided to take full advantage of this. You see, while they were over in the Invictus Games, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, there were an army of people taking that very much snapshotty stuff, hoping for it to go viral. You know, the hugs, the marching, the speech, the milkshake speech, all of that sort of stuff. And you kind of think, who's taking this stuff? Well, the clarity of a lot of that, if you look at that, you know, the pictures, they're so close because they're allowed so clear, because according to that very well-placed source, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, they're given unique access, you know, basically a camera phone, and you get that close to them, but you have to post it on your platform. Now, what they do is they connect with people that have huge platforms, you know, millions on TikTok, millions, say, on Twitter, that sort of stuff. 500,000 would do because everybody else will pick it up. And what this really proves and shows is it's very much free PR, taking out the middleman of the very costly publicity machine that perhaps Harry and Meghan, as we know, have spent thousands on previously, including, of course, Michelle Obama's former publicity guru, which didn't really go anywhere, did it? Well, this time around, she's thinking, well, if she goes viral with all of these tick boxes, then people will see just how much light, well-loved and proactive she's been. Everywhere from, you know, hugging people to waving to the crowds wanting selfies with both her and Harry. Now, it works until, of course, you expose the deal. So next time you see all of these wonderful viral things and you say, where did this come from? Who got that close with a camera? Now you know. Now, she's not alone, you know, so you can't decry it. So many celebrities do this, whether they're at Las Vegas shows and trying to get people to make sure they get those, you know, anniversaries, and the fact that they'll stop the show to make sure a fan's all right. You get the picture. So Meghan is literally, as ever, following the crowd rather than leading it. Either way, though, she plans to get even more social. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.